Hello, and I'm doing something different today. This is going to be a kayaking video. I recently bought a kayak, and now I'm out on Lake Jacksonville, close to where I live, and I'm just going to paddle around. I don't have a mount for it yet, so it's going to be a lot of me stopping and grabbing the phone, but it should be okay. Here, I'm going to flip it. But yeah, I'm already out on it. So I'm just going to paddle around for an hour or two and see how things go. So more later. So I'm continuing on. Paddled to a new area. I'm just going to paddle around for an hour or so. This is a little deck board. Nice little dry box here. I can put my phone in. But, whoops. I gotta right myself. There we go. So this is my, I guess I should tell the story of why I got kayak. Soraya and I have been wanting kayaks for a while, and this past weekend we decided to go out and rent some and kind of cruise around on the lake just outside of our town. I mean, on the outskirts of town. And we had a really good time. It answered a lot of questions that I had. And I'd been doing research for several weeks on potentially buying one. But the impetus behind buying one is that we bought a camper 3 years ago. And we've taken it out probably 5 times. So in order to get it to go out more, I needed something to do, because I'm just not the kind of person who likes to hang out at a campground and do nothing. So I told Soraya, well, why don't we get kayaks? That way I'd have something to do. She's like, I don't know. And I was like, putting it off, looking into it, weighing all the options. And it finally just all clicked. And it clicked in a big way, because after we test rode the kayaks this past Saturday, I was like, well, why don't we go to a local, outdoors store and, see if they got any, see what it's like. And sure enough, not only did they have kayaks, they had the kayak that I wanted, which is the Wilderness Systems Pungo 125. Due to me being a bigger guy, I needed something with a pretty big weight capacity, and this fit the bill. But it was like a $1,200 kayak, so I was like, I won't be buying it for a while, because there's other things I gotta put my money toward. I can't be putting it toward a kayak, And everything included mounts, 2 kayaks, rack system for the Jeep to carry it. All that stuff was going to be I was estimating it was going to be about $5,000. But we ended up only spending about $1,800 total on both of our kayaks, our PFDs, paddles, the rack, kayak mounts. So we ended up getting a lot of good deals this past weekend. So it was just too good to turn down. And now I'm out enjoying it. So more of that. So just enjoying the view, enjoying the ride. It's very relaxing. It's not, the sun isn't out today. It's cloud, overcast cloud. So that works out much better for me, because I've been all weekend I was out in the sun, and man, I got a little toasty. So it's nice to not have to endure the sun, but just chilling out. Now you're probably going to ask, you don't like sitting at campgrounds, but you like sitting in a kayak on a body of water. Yeah, there's just something about it that's interesting to me. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's very peaceful and relaxing, and then I can just kind of go whenever I want, and it's really cool. Now, will this take the place of hiking? No, because I still like hiking. But this is a nice escape sort of deal. Low effort escape. So, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Um, I just feel at peace. Now, I should say that I'm pretty big. Of course, that's the name of the channel. So I had to get a kayak that would fit me, and I wanted to sit inside kayak. I don't know why. I've tried sit on top, and I don't know. I just feel like it's too exposed. Even though there's stability is better. I don't know. I just kind of wanted something I could sit inside and feel like I have a little bit more function, like performance out of it, I guess, for when I really want to cruise across water. So, and I ended up landing on the most popular brand of, the most popular kayak out there with the Pungo. So I have no complaints. It's really nice. And I got it for super cheap too, because it was marked down considerably, almost half off. So I cannot complain. I'm spooking the hell out of a lot of cranes around here. And I'm not even like, I'm on Lake Jacksonville, but I'm on like an inlet. I got to bend around and then go the other way. A lot of houses on Lake Jacksonville, so I'm not really digging this lake, so to speak. I mean, it's all right. It's just I prefer to be where there's not a lot of people around. But I am going midday, so and it's a Tuesday, so I don't have to. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, it is what it is. Just peaceful. I mean, I know it's not much, but I can't explain it. There's just a nice, calming, relaxing peace to it. Soraya likes set on top kayaks, so hers was much cheaper, and she's also thinner than me, so it ended up being, I mean, she had a much wider selection than I had, so we got hers a pretty good deal. But I'm very happy with this decision. And today was the first day that I actually loaded up the kayak and got it off the car by myself. So that's totally doable as well. Now, right now we have it mounted to her compass. I'm waiting for the rack for the Wrangler to come in. That should be tomorrow. And then I got to see if I can get it mounted on the top of the Wrangler, since it's so much taller than the compass. It might pose a little bit of a challenge, so we'll see about that. But outside of that, it's now we just got to start planning what we're going to do for the weekend. I just hope either she doesn't get burnt out on it, or I don't get burnt out. But it's hard to get burnt out when it's just so peaceful. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a crane up there that's just not happy with me being here. Oh, I gotta stop. I'm going into right toward that. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's standing right there on that branch. When I get closer to it, it'll probably try to run off. But it is just making all sorts of noise. Nah, it's just chilling. As soon as I put the phone away, it'll fly away probably. Oh. Trying to rudder here. There we go. But yeah, hear another one, another crane. It's over on that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's over on that little dock over there. Just standing there, pissed off at me. One of the things I do like about this particular kayak is it's pretty fast. I mean, considering my weight, considering its size. It's a 12.5-foot kayak, but it just cleaves through the water. It tracks very well. So I kind of wanted that. I mean, what got this, we've been talking about kayaking for a long time, but whitewater rafting trip, this last time going to the AT was what sort of lit the fire as far as wanting to actually get this knocked out. But I didn't get a kayak that we could go whitewater rafting with. My initial thought was to get pack rafts and spend some money on that, get a couple pack rafts, and then we could go out on the lake if we wanted. We could go whitewater rafting if we wanted, and it would all be good. But I opted for hard shell kayaks instead because the likelihood of us going whitewater, I mean, we may go whitewater rafting again, but we can always rent. I mean, we don't have to take our own vessels. And as far as going out on lakes and whatnot, it's just hard shell kayaks are more accessible to us, and I don't know, it just seems like a better fit, I guess. That's why. So here I am by a little restricted area. This is a youth group campground over here, and I guess this is where they set up and do water activities, I suppose. I've always passed by this, the entrance to this campground, but I never got to see much of it, but I'm seeing the backside of it now, thanks to the kayak. So, very interesting, very interesting. So I've been out for 2 hours now, and I'm just relaxing, having a good time. It's a pretty big lake. There's still more to explore, but I think I'm actually going to wrap it up. I thought I'd be out here for longer, but 2 hours is a pretty good amount of time. I think I'd stay out here more if Soraya was out here. I have to admit, doing it by myself it's peaceful. I'm enjoying myself, but I kind of miss having company. So, yeah, I'm going to paddle back and see how easy it is to get this back up on the, well, I already got it up on once, so should be fine. But yeah, here we go. Well, I got to experience my first boat wake in this thing. It was one of the things that Soraya and I had been talking about, like wondering what that was going to be like, if it was going to be, cause us to be tippy or whatever. And I handled it pretty, I mean, he was in the middle of the lake and I was over on the edge, so by the time the waves got to me, they were pretty subdued, but it was all right. I mean, gave me a little ride, but nothing crazy or anything. So I decided to jump over to the other side of the lake, and then just because that guy was gonna start fishing. So I'm still on my way back. I just figured I was gonna bounce around to this area that I didn't go to when I came through before, check it out on my way back, and then make my way back then. So I'm gonna do that now. I don't know why I'm just doing that. Literally show you guys. The hard part is paddling with one hand. It's so hard, in fact, it's impossible now that the wind's caught me, so I gotta get paddling. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's 2 deer right in front of me. that was pretty cool. They're still there, but one of them kind of checked me out. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I got pretty close to it too. I'm surprised. Before I didn't scare it off either. It just kind of left on its own. But it was a doe and a buck. Pretty cool. I've never seen them like actually in the water before. See, one of the amazing things that you get to see when you get a kayak. So I'm back on land now. There's the complete kayak. And there's the compass. There's our kayak mounts and crossbars that we had to buy at Dick's in order to even get it home. But we got it that can actually go straight up, and we have two, so we can mount our both kayaks on the same vehicle. That's very handy. And here it is, secured to the top of the compass. And it ain't going anywhere. I've got it locked in the middle, and the back and front are tied. But, it looks like I have it a little bit too far back, but no big deal. It's strapped down pretty well. But, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think all in all, I was out for 3 hours, which isn't too bad. So that was my first kayaking video. Next time, maybe I'll have a clamp or something to clamp this to and mount it directly to the kayak, get more rowing footage and other stuff. But I mean, for the maiden, that's not the maiden voyage, but the maiden video, it's not too bad. So about getting a kayak and you're a bigger fellow like me, the Pungo 125 by Wilderness Systems is definitely the way to go if you like sit inside. It's got a bulkhead and a rear back cavity that's airtight, has storage inside that you can put stuff for, if you want to camp or whatever. The front's just open, but you can stuff like a inflatable bag in there, secure it somehow, and then you'll have it double-ended in case you were worried about rolling over. But it's a really sleek and solid design. I fit in it, and I think I have a 48-inch waist, and I fit in this, so that gives you an idea. And it cruises with me being 315. I mean, I can't complain. And this part right here, this thing is actually removable in case you are bigger or taller than me and you need to get your knees up higher, out of the boat more. You can pop that right off and just have the whole cabin open. All in all, I dig it. I like it a lot. So that does it for that. So see you on the next trip later.